So thank you all for being here today. We are going to move on. We're going to welcome our first hopeful startup to the stage. And my dear friends, you're in for a treat. I believe our first pitcher is bringing a little friend with them. The first company is Weavy Vision. And they are from Spain, and Weavy Vision provide an immersive 3D solution based on AI, which can assess and improve visual dysfunctions. Very interesting, very important, and we are very delighted to have their CEO and founder join us on the stage. It's the first pitch. We need your energy to make the magic happen. If you're in the team, as any of our pitchers, make some noise. Speaking of which, let's give it up for the CEO and founder of Weavy Vision. Welcome, Eva Garcia Ramos. Thank you. Muy bien. Welcome.
This has changed the world. This has changed the world in vision. Because nowadays, we see the things like this. And we have visual dysfunctions. Well, there has problem on that. We can solve this problem. Do you see my glasses? Obviously, they are not normal glasses. They are part of a solution that can change your life. But let me explain why and how. In vision, there are three main processes. One, focusing, corrected with glasses and contact lens. We are noticed this one. Neuronal, how you coordinate the eyes. And psychical, when you have a circle, can be P, D, or whatever. This is the functional part of the vision. This will treat in Weavy Vision. 4 out of 10 people have this visual dysfunction. Well, 20% of the cases diagnosed with dyslexia and 30% with ADHD, they don't have dyslexia and visual dysfunction. They have just visual dysfunction. The common symptom for visual dysfunction, you know all of them, but you don't relate it with vision. And these are very important. Learning, blurred vision, and other vision. Normally, the trainings are like this, manual, with a pen, long time, and expensive. That's why we created Weavy. Weavy is a solution for assessment and treatment, B2B2C model. We are reducing the assessment from 45 minutes to 12, and for 12 months to 3 months. No regressions after 4 years. And for the eye care specialists with the latest innovative in the sector, AI, artificial intelligence, and for the end user, it's like a video game personalized for you. This is the physiotherapeutic of the eye, personalized. Well, this is a solution that is on the market, but let me explain 2 milestones. One, we are launching the product right now in the US market, and we have 8 agreements with the big optical retailers to go faster in the market. We have hired in our team to grow faster a sales director with more than 35 years experience on his team, a CFO with more than 25 years experience, and the CTO. Because we want, the revenues were 2 times, 3 times, and we want to be the rocket to be in this visual problem. That's why we have been awarded in different prizes, but the main important thing for us is to have the visibility of the problem, and this problem, that is a huge problem, we can solve. 4 out of 10 people, remember. So 12 minutes can change your life. Please check your visual health. Thank you so much.
Fantastic, Eva. Thank you so much. 12 minutes can change your life. But what did our judges think? Do we have any questions from our esteemed panel of subject matter experts? And sometimes the answer is no. Sometimes the pitchers answer every question. We do. We have a question 1 and question 2. Right. So question 1 is there. Question, or whoever goes there first. OK, you're first. No, you're first there, and then you're first. That's it. OK, thank you.
Who are your clients, and why have you chosen them?
Sorry?
Who are your clients, and why have you chose those type of clients?
We are,
who are your clients, and why have they
my
chosen
customers.
you?
Okay.
Why have they chosen you?
Our model is B2B2C. Right now, we go to the optical retailers, hospitals, and schools for detection. And the end user is the final user, but the equipment and the sales model need to be bought by the optical retailers store.
Excellent.
And right now we have agreements with 8 of the optical groups, General Optica, Natural Optics, Secop. They are big groups that they are in different countries. And right now they are expanding the solution in Spain. Right now we are expanding in US and other countries right now.
All right, excellent. Swiftly on, 45 seconds, yes.
Thank you for your presentation.
Thank
I
you.
would like to know, you said part of your product is AI-based. Is that optional? Is that mandatory? And I'm asking this question because I wonder how difficult it is to carry out the certification for the FDA and the CE in terms of AI.
So the AI we use for the personal treatment in the games, the certification was previous one to the normative that we are right now, because we are in the market since 4 years ago. And right now we are translating the regulation to the 2A class also for having this adjustment in the part of the game, not in the clinical staff. In the clinical staff, we are not treating this part. So we are, let's say, personalizing the treatment for the end user based on the collaboration of the person.
Okay, gracias.
Thank you so much.
Fabulous questions. That's all we have time for. Show your appreciation for Eva Garcia Ramos from Weavy Vision. Okay, don't forget your spaceship. Bonus points for the prop. Excellent. All right, so here's the deal. You know, as I mentioned, the judges have 2 questions, maximum of 2 minutes. We keep it moving on swiftly. We give them a few moments to send their thoughts up to the South Summit mothership, and the mothership will calculate who is the winner, and they go through to the final tomorrow. Our next hopeful pitcher is joining us all the way from Switzerland, beautiful Switzerland. The company is called Adorum Therapeutics, and they are providing a safer and more effective small molecule therapies for inflammation and cancer, the allosteric way. This is the first time I've heard the word allosteric. I am fascinated to know what that means. So we are very happy to welcome to the stage, please welcome the CEO of Adorum Therapeutics, David Pechowski. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's really great to be here in this melting pot of innovation. So also great to represent Switzerland, one of the hotspots for biotech in the world. Adorum Therapeutics is making small molecule therapies that are not only more safe, but also more effective. So they're allowed to do this via their allosteric mode of action. And you might be thinking, what's wrong with small molecules? They're great. You can give them by the oral route, and they're also very cost effective. But they have some problems, which is why we developed a way to identify allosteric modulators with a screening platform that's proprietary. So we can identify these regions on the drug target, and these targets allow us to modify the receptor so we can modulate the signaling, so either more finely or really above and beyond what happens in nature. And there's many advantages to that, so you can see we don't have to compete with the natural ligand on the receptor, and that means you can give less of the drug, which is safer for patients. And there's also partial signaling or superactivation possible, and it's more specific and selective. So you can even have tissue. Is this kind of cutting out sometimes? You can have tissue-specific or selective small molecules. So imagine a small molecule that is working more so in the diseased tissue. And we have 2 assets. One of them is for cancer, and the other one is for inflammatory indications, as well as metabolic diseases. So the market is quite big for both of these, and we've already proven in mouse models that we outperform the competitors, and we have interest from pharma to partner once we get to the clinical stage. Our business model is to out-license or sell the individual assets and also develop new drugs to keep a pipeline happening. And we are in the middle of a seed round, so we call upon investors for the pre-seed or also a larger seed round. We have serial entrepreneurs on the team, also key opinion leaders and ex-pharma directors, and also an in-house R&D team that is discovering the new assets. So finally, to acknowledge our investors so far, we've secured more than 2 million, and also the startup network in Switzerland and calling upon people who are interested to find out more. I'm happy to send the non-confidential slide deck to you. Thanks for your time and happy to have any questions. Thanks.
Fantastic. Wow, bringing that well in time. Thank you very much, David Pejovsky. But what questions do our judges have about Adorum Therapeutics? Any questions from the front row? Now, sometimes it does happen. Our wonderful pitchers just smash it in their presentation. Yes, we have a question from my friend Martin. Okay, we got the microphone there. Make sure to hold it close to your mouth so we hear it on the stage. The acoustics can be difficult. Thank you.
What I haven't heard, so thank you so much for your presentation. What I haven't fully understand is what is your go-to-market strategy? When are you actually on the market? Are you on the market? Do you have clients already? Mm-hmm. When will you have them potentially?
We're in the preclinical stage of development for both of our furthest developed assets, and we hope to be in the clinic at the end of next year for the cancer immunotherapy and in the following year for the anti-inflammatory drug.
How much money are you expecting to raise more to get to clinical and then beyond?
So the first 5 million seed will allow us to complete a phase 1b for the cancer trial, and then additional 12 million will allow us to continue with the inflammation clinical trials.
Fabulous.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Martin. And those were the two questions. Very well chosen. I'm afraid we only have time for two questions. Please join me in thanking David from Adorum Therapeutics. Thank you so much. Okay, sorry, yes, I do have to be, Mr. God, what's the word? I don't know. I have to be all over the timing, basically, so we keep things moving. If you are standing at the back, it is standing room only. Oh, my goodness, there's some seats over here, and there's a few seats there. If you find yourself on the end of a row with empty seats, please feel free to move in, because there's a lot of people standing at the back. I'm sure they'd love to come and sit next to you, and maybe even make friends with you, maybe invest in your company. Who knows? These are good people. There's no such thing as a bad connection in South Summit. My dear friends, we're going to move on and meet another company from beautiful Spain. Now, this company is called Island Health, and they provide diagnostics as a service platform enabling remote lab test collection and personalized reports with medical guidance powered by AI. Okay, that elevator pitch ticks a lot of boxes, and we are about to meet their founder and CEO. She is from Madrid, homegrown hero. Please welcome to the stage the founder and CEO of Island Health, Isabel Caruana. Thank you.
2,000 people in the world under the age of 70 will be dead by the time we finish this pitching session, all from deaths from diseases that are preventable. And if we want to prevent, we need to be informed. Laboratory tests inform 70% of diagnostics. That's why they're so crucial. But going to the lab is unpleasant, your results are not fully explained, and the whole process is very time-consuming. At Island, we make it easy so that the patient can do it himself, convenient so that you can do it from home, and worth your time, providing all the insights to your state of health. We're working with companies like Novartis or Boehringer, and we have become an all-in-one testing partner to deploy diagnostic programs without the hassle. From convenient sample collection until you receive the insightful results, we eliminate any barriers to testing. And we start with the end user. Our self-sampling kits are CE-marked, fully compliant, and they have everything the patient needs to take their own sample. That reduces the cost of sending a nurse by half. We partner with key institutions to validate all the markers, like Clínica Universidad de Navarra, to guarantee confidence and peace of mind. But it doesn't stop here. Our platform provides comprehensive results explained in plain language so that anyone can understand their diagnosis and know what are the next steps to optimal care. All this always guided by doctors and powered by AI. Our solution is really versatile. We can help in screening, ongoing health monitoring, proactive well-being for most common conditions, cardiovascular disease, prostate cancer, STDs, and many more. So if you're a pharma, a company, an insurance, know that we can customize our kit to your brand and take it to market really fast, fully compliant. And I'm talking about days, not months. We charge on a per kit and license fee when white label. We're operating in a huge market that keeps growing, and we're already a trusted partner of top-tier pharma, of public-private hospitals, and other companies such as Boston Medical or Laboratorios Echevarne. In less than 2 years, we have tripled the size of the team. We have grown by 10x our revenue, and we recently secured a 1.5 million funding round to continue making an impact in the life of thousands. We're surrounded by a great team, and I don't want to show you, I want to tell you. So please join us at Container 11, because behind each picture here, there's our true story. And I want you to show how we're making an impactful impact in helping people live longer and healthier lives. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, felicidades, fantastic. Thank you so much. That was brilliant. And I got to compliment you on the very stylish branded gear. Wow, that's very cool. Okay, coolest branded merch I've seen. My dear friends, do we have any questions? Yes, straight away. We got 2 questions. Okay, those 2 questions are yours. You first.
Thank you very much for the presentation. My question would be regarding the dress market that you have. I see that you have a broad capacity to address different markets. So what's the strategy, what's the roadmap, step by step, on maximizing the value and seeing how can you scale from there on, from where you are?
So in terms of go-to-market, we're working mostly with companies. So our main strategy is B2B, going with, as I was mentioning, like big pharma, corporations in the health space. I truly believe that we're creating a new category in this market. So if we go with hand with companies that are already there, we will make a bigger impact.
Okay, fabulous.
Thank
you. We pass the mic down this way. Yes, lovely. Great teamwork from the judges. Your question, sir.
Congratulations for the presentation and for the solution. My question is regarding the integration with the healthcare information system. How are you approaching the results to be integrated in the healthcare information system of the hospitals?
No, super good question. And as of now, what we're doing is we're creating the platform so that it's modular. We have an API system that is like the first step to be able to integrate. The reality is that integrating with hospitals, private clinic, is very complicated. So we do our part until here, and then we work on a case-by-case basis with them.
2 fantastic questions from our fabulous judges. Great answers from our wonderful pitcher. My dear friends, please show your appreciation for Isabel Caruana. That's what we like to see. My friends, if you are connected in any way, even if it's tenuous, and you know the pitcher, give them all the love when they go on the stage. It really makes a big difference. Now, speaking of which, we are going to welcome our next pitcher to the stage, and she is also from Madrid, beautiful Madrid. Our next pitcher is Altum Sequencing from Spain, of course, and their technology detects and characterizes minor survival tumor cells after treatment to better adjust therapy, improve outcomes, and reduce costs. That's tick, tick, tick. Very interesting stuff. We are delighted to welcome their CEO to the stage. Please join me in welcoming Yanira Heredia. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Yanira Heredia. I'm the CEO of Altum Sequencing, and I want to start with some numbers. Half of the men and a third of the women in this room will develop cancer. And the latest clinical trials are showing that up to 40% of us will not receive the best treatment. One of the most serious problems that doctors face after treating a patient is that they don't know with precision who has been cured and who will relapse. And this occurs because current techniques lack the sensitivity and specificity to detect small survival tumor cells. To change this, we developed CloneSight, a next-generation sequencing test that can detect one tumor cell in up to 1 million healthy cells, and in a simple liquid biopsy sample. This test can be used to adjust treatment efficiently, detect relapses earlier, and reducing the healthcare cost. This is an example of a real lymphoma patient who ended the treatment with all tests negative, but rapidly died, relapsed and died. CloneSight was able to detect residual disease in his blood. This patient missed crucial care. And this is another example of a lymphoma patient who was informed about a tumor progression by a positive PET scan, but this time CloneSight was negative. And thanks to this test, this patient did not receive the unnecessary and extremely dangerous treatment. He's still alive and remains disease-free. This is happening, and there are thousands of cases like this in the hospitals. That's why the liquid biopsy market is so big and is estimated in 31 million and is growing rapidly year by year. To target it, we are more sensitive and versatile than our American competitors, and we are better positioned to cover European and Asian market, where we already operate through a Chinese partner. We offer the test from a central lab and in a kit format, and this is going to enable us to overcome geographic barriers and rapid expansion. And this, Altum has revenue since day one, and this year we project closing around 1 million euros in revenues, with an exponential growth expected in the coming years. And these projections are based on facts, since the patented technology is validated in the most relevant hematological and solid tumor, and now we seek funding to increase market share, to demonstrate clinical utility by interventional clinical trials, and to obtain the CIVD to start operating also in the healthcare market. Altum is a spin-off from 12 de Octubre Hospital, founded by the heads of oncology and hematology department, key opinion leaders, and with a strong industry connections. But I'm also supported by a strategic and financial expert and by a motivated team ready to push forward with patients. And we all share a mission to make sure that not only our loved ones, but also yours, can benefit from a test like CloneSight. Thank you so much.
Muy bien. Thank you so much. That's amazing. This is life-saving stuff. You know, always with these pitches in the health sector, I think I would like everybody to win because it's all important work. But our judges are the ones with the hard decisions to make right now. Speaking of which, do we have any questions from our wonderful judges in the front row? Okay, we're going to be quickly moving on if there's no questions. We got our mic athletes at the ready going once. Yes, we have a question. Okay, thank you.
Among your customers, I understand that you have companies doing clinical trials to prove the effectiveness, but also proven treatments in the hospitals and also diagnosis previous to the treatment.
Actually, our clients depends on the market segment. In the clinical research market, our clients are pharmaceutical companies that they need to perform, like to validate the efficiency of the therapies right after the treatment and short the duration of the clinical trials. But also research centers and oncologists, researchers that want to demonstrate that the treatment scheme or the way to manage the patients is more efficiently than the previous one and need this type of highly sensitive tests to demonstrate the hypothesis.
And what's the cost of this analysis versus the cost of the treatment versus the cost of the clinical trial?
That's the question here. For example, in multiple myeloma, where we generate more data, the cost for one patient is 500,000 euros, and this test is 800 euros, a single assay. So compare, it's incomparable.
Wow, muy bien. I was standing here going like, you know, jaw hit the floor. That's quite a saving, my goodness. And those are the two questions that we have from our wonderful judges. My dear friends, please show your appreciation to the wonderful Yanira Heredia from Altum Sequencing. Yes. Muy bien. Wow, impressive stuff. We're really seeing, you know, the forefront of research, of innovation, and of solutions that are going to save lives and keep us all healthier for longer. So I appreciate every one of these startups really from, you know, with all my heart. Right, we give the judges a few momentitos to put some marks in, and we are going to tell you right now about our next brilliant startup. Now, their company is called Azalea Vision, and we are delighted to be joined by their CEO and co-founder, who is from Madrid. Okay, so we got some, Madrid is very well represented, but the startup is actually based in Belgium, and Azalea Vision is a smart contact lens platform for patients suffering from irregular astigmatism, photophobia, or presbyopia. Very important issues, and this is a very innovative solution. My dear friends, please welcome to the stage the CEO and co-founder of Azalea Vision. Give it up for Enrique Vega!
Thank you very much. Hey. Good morning. I'm here to discuss prevalent and often neglected disease, a challenge that 7 million patients have and they are suffering around the world. As you see here, there is a deformation of the cornea. This is called keratoconus. And it starts when you are 20 years old and develops from 20 to 40 years old. And the issue of this visual challenge is that patients see this way that you see here on these images. Even with the best treatment, they cannot see as they should, and 5,000 patients have issues that cannot be solved with the actual standards. That's why we believe actually that with, there are many publications demonstrating that with glasses you can solve part of the problem. When the problem becomes from mild to moderate, you can use some specific contact lenses that are in the market today. But as you see, you don't reach a visual acuity that we all want to have, which is something like in the right. So that's why we are now developing a smart contact lens that is like the best contact lens in the market, but has this layer of nanotechnology that has an antenna, a chip, an ASIC, a battery, and also some dynamic rings inside the contact lens that we can personalize for each of the patients. We are also developing a smart case where we can clean the device, we can program the device, and we can charge the battery for the next day of operations. How does it work? It's very simple. The aberrations, the irregular astigmatism, 85% is coming from the external rings of the eye, of the deformation. So if you filter out the bad light, and you only focus on the focused light, then the green light in this image is the one that will land in the retina, and then in that case, all the aberrated light will remain outside the eye. We can personalize this for each patient, and also each patient can have a diameter that moves around the day whenever it's necessary. You have a model that is just in your hands, in some of you. We tested this already in human eyes. We are now putting in place our Series A after a seed series of 6 million. We are putting in place the Series A for finance the clinical studies. We are not only stopping in irregular astigmatism, we will go for photophobia and presbyopia. And we have no competition as such, but big companies like Google developing smart contact lenses for this kind of therapies, not for irregular astigmatism, but yes, for photophobia. We have a clear exit strategy, discussing with the big players to see how we can develop or eventually open an opportunity for an M&A situation. Thank you very much.
Muy bien, gracias. Fantastic stuff.
Thank you.
And I was watching this from the viewpoint of somebody with like really terrible eyesight. My contact lenses are like this thick, so this kind of thing is super interesting to me. But what did our esteemed panel of judges think? We have a question straight away, and we have 2 questions. Okay, the 2 questions belong to you.
Thank you. Could you go into the unit economics of manufacturing it and the price that you're planning to sell it?
Yeah. So we are a team of 12. All of them are PhD specialists in MEMS, liquid crystal, etc. But the fabrication, the manufacturing, we are not doing it ourselves. We are outsourcing this. We are fabless. And we are working with people that do MEMS and in wafers, like a nanotechnology, atomic layer deposition. They do this for living. So we have a supply chain with all these guys, starting, for example, with Philips Innovation in the Netherlands. So everything comes to our, everything comes in wafers, standards. We put all the components in another supplier. We thermoform, and we integrate this in a company that has that they are doing contact lenses for living too. So completely fabless, all manufacturing wafers.
Excellent question. Thank you so much for passing it. Yes, thank you.
It's two questions, but one is very quick. Irregular astigmatism, I assume, is a different kind of astigmatism that
Correct.
cannot be solved with conventional
Correct.
lens. Okay. Have you tested the product with customers in sense of comfortability for the eye, etc.,
Yeah.
in a certain period of time?
Yeah, exactly. So the contact lenses that last for a whole day of this kind that we are developing, what is the contact lens as such, it's already something that exists and is already tested and proven and is FDA approved, CE mark approved. We are taking these same materials, these same of fit into the eye of the patient and just including the nanotechnology inside. So all the materials are already validated. You can buy them if you have an issue of keratoconus. The only issue is that you will solve 50%. If you are severe keratoconus, you will only solve 50% with the standard contact lenses. And with the filter that we are proposing, you will help them to, let's say, go to the 100%.
Fabulous questions, using the 2 minutes very well indeed. My dear friends, give
Thank
a
you.
big round of applause. Show your appreciation
Thank
for
you.
Enrique Vega from Azalea Vision. Oh, yes. Fabulous. Once again, I don't know how the judges do it, but they do it very well, and that's why they're here. I could not choose between all of these brilliant startups. They're just all so good. Now, speaking of which, Madrid is being very well represented this morning, I'm happy to say. Our next company is from Spain. Their CEO is from Madrid. He's going to join us on the stage very shortly. The company is called Bitsvi Diagnosis, and Bitsvi pioneers EEG-based ADHD biomarker, revolutionizing psychiatric diagnostics with brain connectivity patterns. Oh yes, akin to X-rays in radiology. Hashtag mind blown. Please join me in welcoming to the stage the CEO of Bitsvi Diagnosis, Alvaro Lopez Medrano. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Some months ago, my daughter fell while skating, and it looked like she had broken her arm. So we went to the hospital. They took X-rays. We went to visit the doctor, and the doctor said to my daughter, who was playing with the parking ticket, "You are fine. Your bone is not broken. You wouldn't be playing with the parking ticket." So when the X-rays arrived, the doctor said, "I was wrong. The bone is broken." So psychiatrists do not have X-rays. What's the consequence of this? Well, in the case of attention deficit hyperactivity disorder diagnosis, there's a 23% rate of misdiagnosis. The cost of this in the United States is $10 billion per year. So imagine the impact of having a solution with an accuracy of more than 90% in ADHD diagnosis. This is what we do at Bitsvi. How do we do it? Well, we have a cognitive model based on Shannon's information theory, and we have derived a cognitive task which is performed by the child, and we measure the brain activity with magnetoencephalography or electroencephalography, and we have derived a biomarker which is an aid for the physician to decide if the child is ADHD or not, to increase his probability of success. And this is our business model, if you want. We send through the cloud this comprehensive report to aid the physician. Here are some numbers in which we are comparing the price of our solution to other existing solutions in the market. As you can see, they are comparable. It is not comparable, and this is crucial, to the cost of misdiagnosis, which is the high column on the right side. We are conducting clinical trials, to confirm that the biomarker we have already found with magnetoencephalography can be produced with EEG. And we are conducting a clinical trial with 162 children. Well, our roadmap includes collaboration with pharmas because they are very interested in knowing which is the connectivity difference between the before and the after of a pharmacological treatment. We expect our first target to be private hospitals and clinics, and then public hospitals, school, and at-home diagnosis. So the market, the target market that we are facing in Europe and in the US is around $2.4 billion. We expect to conquer 10% of that market, and in 3 years from now, we expect to have an income of 7 million. So thank you very much. I hope you have paid me attention. If not, maybe you are ADHD, or maybe not. Come to Bitsby, we will tell you.
Fantastic, Bitsby. That's a good pitch. And as you see, using those 3 minutes expertly, sliding into the DMs of those VCs at the very end. Okay, but what did our esteemed panel of judges have to say or have to think? We have got a question straight away. Thank you. Excellent. Okay.
How do you get to the doctors and clinics that you're targeting? What's the go-to-market, the strategy to sell them?
Well, as I've said, right now, the diagnosis of cognitive disorders is based on symptoms. So there are no biomarkers right now for any cognitive disorder, including ADHD. So this is our force to market.
Right, excellent. And another question straight away.
You'd only talk about ADHD. Does it have potential for new indications in the mental health world?
Which was, sorry, what was the question? If it could be applied to other cognitive?
Yeah, to other. If you now you are working on this disease, but if it can be extended to other diseases.
Yes. As I've said, the cognitive model is based on Shannon's information theory, so it doesn't understand of any specific disorder. We have applied it to ADHD because of the prevalence and because the misdiagnosis is very high, but it could be applied to autism, dyslexia, or even schizophrenia or bipolar. Any cognitive disease is subject of our model.
Ooh, that was a really good last question. Thank you for asking those, my friends. Okay, that's all we have time for. The 2 questions are done. Show your appreciation for Alvaro Lopez Medrano from Bitsby. Thank you. Hey. Okay. Yeah, and if you are in any way connected to the people on stage, do share the love. Give them that energy. It's really appreciated. We can feel it up here. Okay, our judges are putting their marks into the tablets. They go to the mothership and they find the winner. And we have 3. We got a power trio to round things off now. We're going to move on to our next startup. Now, they are called Nimble Diagnostics. And they are from Spain. Their CEO is from Barcelona. We must be neighbors. And they provide, or the Nimble Diagnostics have actually developed the world's first non-invasive system to detect occlusion in coronary stents to prevent heart attacks. Amazing stuff. All of this stuff you're seeing today, it's life-saving. The judges have a tough decision, but we're going to bring on the CEO of Nimble Diagnostics to impress them. Please welcome to the stage, Oriol Iborra. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone, for being here. At Nimble, we are a medtech spin-off with the aim of becoming the standard of care for the monitoring and management of implanted stents. Briefly, stents are one of the most implanted devices in the world, with over 50 million people currently having a cardiac stent, and are mainly used to reopen blocked arteries and restore the correct flow of blood to the tissue. It's mainly used to treat heart attacks or to prevent them. But the problem is that once implanted, stents can become blocked or damaged again, which puts the patient's lives at risk and affects up to 1/3 of the cases during the first 2 years after implantation. And the problem that we are solving at Nimble is that currently the only way to know that an implanted stent is working properly is through a very complex, expensive, and invasive procedure called catheter angiography. This requires anesthesia sedation for the patient, lots of X-ray radiation for both the patient and the clinician performing the test, as well as 24 hours hospitalization at least, maybe up to 72 hours. So this means that this technique cannot be used as a screening tool to identify asymptomatic patients that may be at risk otherwise. This increases the incidence of serious complications, like second heart attack, stroke, or even sudden death, that could be avoided only if we knew that there was an underlying problem. That's why we've developed Nimble, the first-in-class medical device for the non-invasive monitoring of implanted stents. We use microwave radiation to send a signal that just bounces off the stent, and in less than 5 seconds, our algorithms process this signal and present only the clinically relevant information to the patient. So if the stent is occluded, we quantify the occlusion. If the stent is broken, what type of fracture? It's a simple fracture, it's a complete fracture. We can give all of this in a timely manner and, of course, cost-effectively. This has been already protected. We have 2 patents, 1 granted and 1 submitted, as well as 2 additional patents in drafting stages ready for being submitted in the next weeks. We have finished the preclinical testing. We have amazing results in animal models, in pigs, and we are now starting in July our pilot test in 120 patients, and we already have the regulatory pathway defined, health technology assessment studies that demonstrate the market necessity, as well as a large network of hospitals ready to adopt our technology in clinical trials. This leaves us with a very large and growing market. We start focusing on cardiac stents, but we can apply the technology to other type of stents, but as well as other type of metallic implants. And we also have industrial and veterinary applications in the future. All of this is thanks to our amazing team. We have clinical expertise, engineering, as well as commercial strategies that helps us move in the right direction. So we also have a key opinion leaders network that helps us along the way, and we would love for you to accompany us in our journey. So thank you very much.
Muy bien. Muy bien, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, fantastic presentation, bringing it in right to the second. Do we have any questions from our esteemed panel of judges in the front row? Yes, we do. Straight away. Yeah, 1, 2 questions. Okay, they are yours. Could you, yeah.
Thank you for your presentation, Oriol.
Hi.
I would like to know how you carry out the initial characterization in terms of electromagnetic properties of the stents.
You mean the market opportunity?
No, I mean like the characterization of the properties of the stents.
Of course. Yeah, we first validated with in silico and in vitro testing, having a stent in a mix of a gel that stimulates the biological electrical properties of the body. Then we moved into mice models and rat models to test a tissue layer between our antenna and the stent. And we moved into preclinical testing in pigs. We have 15 animals performed with 100% sensitivity and 90% sensibility results.
Fabulous. Question 2.
If I am a hospital, how much this cost versus 1 stent, considering the number of stents we can quickly replace?
So an angiography procedure costs around 10 to 15,000 euros in Europe. It's close to 20-25 in the US. Our machine costs 50,000 euros for the whole life expectancy of the device. And what we would be is identifying problems early on to prevent these acute complications like a second heart attack or stroke or sudden death by moving forward the treatment procedure, which is implanting a second stent. We also have a maintenance fee for the device, annual recurrent, which helps us in the cash flow.
Who you are planning to pay this? The medtech company for the stents or the hospital?
No, the hospital, yeah. So it's a leasing the device as well as an ultrasound machine. Typically in a hospital, you lease the device and you perform the tests.
Awesome. Awesome questions. Very important. My dear friends, please show your appreciation for Oriol Ibarra from Nimble Diagnostics. Very, very interesting indeed. You know, as you kind of, get a little bit older, you do know more and more people who have stents fitted, so all of this stuff perhaps can touch somebody that you can think of now. Interesting stuff. I'm loving all of the startups. They are all brilliant, life-saving things. Now, my dear friends, we're going to move on to our next pitcher. They are again from Spain, and again, the gentleman joining me on stage right now is also a, más o menos, a neighbor in Barcelona. I'm a bit outside of town, but our next company is Seek-Eye Medical. Now, Seek-Eye Medical has developed the first medical device able to anticipate the diagnosis of cancer in the abdomen non-invasively. Very, very interesting stuff. Again, I don't envy the judges with their difficult decisions. My dear friends, please join me in welcoming to the stage the CTO of Seek-Eye Medical, Javier Garcia.
Thanks. Hi, everyone. My name is Javier, and I am thrilled to be here to present you Seek-Eye Medical, where we have developed the first AI medical device platform to anticipate cancer in the upper abdomen. Here are some numbers of the incidence of cancer worldwide, just to show you that the trend is getting worse and worse every year despite all efforts. And if we focus on the upper abdominal organs like pancreas, liver, and kidney, we see that these are even worse. It is shocking to know that 1 in 5 of these deaths could have been avoided thanks to early detection. But the problem is that cancer seems to always be ahead. So to anticipate it, we shall focus on the detection of precursor lesions, focal lesions that are highly prevalent and have been proven in some cases to evolve in time into cancer. Problem is that nowadays, if we had 10 of these, we could only approach up to 7 of them, and in 40% of the cases, we would be mismanaging the patient. So we will be over-testing and infra-diagnosing. The solution is Seek-Eye Medical, which is an AI-driven medical device platform that is silently installed in the hospital and raises up an alert once a patient that will develop cancer is found. It is a Class 2B medical device. It analyzes CT scans and MRIs, and it has been validated in 8 major hospitals throughout Europe with 2 major patents worldwide. As we say, it is a software that assists radiologists in finding these patients with 2 main value propositions against competitors. One, it is a zero-click approach. While other companies usually are second opinion, we are 1 step ahead. We are a zero reader. We go before the radiologist opens up the case so that we analyze the CT scan or MRI before it goes there. We do the automatic registration, a pattern from ourselves to automatically get all the temporal information of the patient for enhancing our performance. We have a B2B business model with hospitals, teleradiology clinic, and big software hardware manufacturers as main customers, and we are developing our business model for pharmas to enhance the clinical trial management. Despite being very young, our market is one of the fastest growing markets in the world, and we have estimated it in over 4 billion by 2028 without taking into consideration reimbursement and pharmas. In these 4 years of life, we have been able to create the product, make the clinical trials, get the CE mark right now, and right now what comes is to consolidate our sales in Europe as the platform, and then get the next step in the few years with the FDA approval. We are a very ambitious project, we know, but we are fully committed entrepreneurs, also that combine young entrepreneurship with expertise. And we have also we are very proud of our clinical and business advisors that make us move the company forward towards the right direction every day. So anticipating cancer with us is possible, so feel free to reach out. Thank you for your time and join us at Seek-Eye. Thank you very much.
Fabulous. Javier Garcia from Seek-Eye. Brilliant presentation, brilliant. But the question I ask every time is, what do our judges think? And we're about to have a question right now from my friend over there. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the presentation. My question would be about your financials, specifically on unit economics. How much does it cost you to acquire a customer? Where are you at financially?
Yeah, so this is now being sold to hospitals, private clinics, teleradiology centers. It depends on the size of the hospital and also whether if it is a private or public hospital. But for a public hospital in Spain, it is less than 26,000 a year to license out this solution that is installed in the PACS. And financially, we just opened a financing round, if that's what you mean by that, of 1.5 million to move us to the next step and try to get the FDA in the next 2 years or so. We have just started our first pilot in the University of Alabama in the US with a key opinion leader, and we are doing the pre-submission right now in September to make things a bit more, to speed up the process.
So it's pre-revenue at the moment?
Right, yes, we just received the CE mark. We are really lucky because we got to get a lot of pre-sales before getting the CE mark, so we are now launching it mostly in Spain and Italy. And also we have signed several distribution agreements with other distributors throughout Europe to try to make evangelization of the product and try to get it installed in as many hospitals as possible.
That's great, thank you.
Fabulous. Two excellent questions there. CAC, a very important TLA, or three-letter acronym. My dear friends, please join me in showing your appreciation for Javier Garcia from CKI Medical.
Thank you.
Great session there. Thank you, Mulvey. Brilliant. Okay, my friends, the judges are deep in thought. They are sending their thoughts up to the mothership, the South Summit mothership, marking all the marks via their magical tablets and the magic of the interwebs. So they're sending their thoughts upwards, and the winner will be announced right here on the Next Big Thing stage at 3:30 today. But we have one more picture for you. And my friends, you are in for a treat. The grand finale is Sound Dream. And the company is based in Switzerland and also in Spain. In fact, our speaker today joins us from beautiful La Mancha. What a great part of the country. Now, Sound Dream is an AI infant cry analysis to support well-being and health status of newborns. Very important stuff there, literally where we all begin. We are delighted to welcome their co-founder and chief scientist who joins us from La Mancha. Please give a very warm welcome. It's the final picture today. Give it up for Ana Laguna. Thank you, Ana.
Thank you. Okay, so hello everybody. Yes, Ana Laguna, co-founder and chief scientist at SoundDream, but even most important, I'm the mom of 3 wonderful kids that are the reason of this project. So today, I'm here as an entrepreneur using artificial intelligence and sound processing in order to help parents and clinicians all around the world using cry as a vocal biomarker, able to assess the well-being and the health status of the children. So why? Well, as a mom, I can perfectly understand the importance of bringing a kid into the world and the constant concern about, is my baby okay? But this stress reaches peak when the baby starts crying, which is normal, because cry is the first attempt humans use to communicate. So it allocates a lot of implicit information. It's considered a sign, a symptom, and even a signal evidencing feelings, emotions, and the health status of the infant. So why is my baby crying? This is the pattern, the typical pattern of an angry baby. So our technology is collecting the data, analyzing the data, and notifying the parents in real time. So you can hear. So the technology is not only working, but it's also the most advanced technology on cry analysis in the world, based on scientific research. So we are already generated a lot of user traction and very positive feedback, and we are now in a scaling up position, partnership with top brands around the world, and also generating healthy revenues. How? Thanks to a business model where we integrate our software in any third party's hardware. Having a microphone is all what we need. But what you just saw here goes further, no? Is the initial step, is only the foundation. Our goal is not only to translate needs and emotions of the infants, if the baby is hungry, sleepy, etc., but also support clinicians on the early detection of certain pathologies and neurological disorders where the cry is very characteristic and doctors already know it, like, for example, the case of autism. And this is a journey, an amazing journey, that I started by myself when I started analyzing the own cries of my own infants, but became a reality when we realized that on our database, there were many infants that were outliers, and years later, they were diagnosed with atypical development. So together with top institutions and clinicians all around the world, SoundDream is developing a non-invasive automatic tool in order to monitor infant cries at home since the very first days of life, with the purpose of advancing early intervention in a period that is crucial for neuroplasticity, so we can really improve and change the life of those children. So do not hesitate, join us at SoundDream, and let's change together the future of the neonatology. And of course, you can help us to accelerate the growth. If you are interested, you can be part also in our next funding round. Thank you.
Wonderful. Anna from Soundstream,
Thank
a
you.
wonderful presentation. Thank you. Wow, such mind-blowing stuff. So, impactful. But what did our judges think? We have a question straight away. Yes, my friend.
How do you get the data, or did you get the data to train the model?
Very typical question, no? So we have been collecting data with families from all around the world from years, where the families were labeling the data. And then we were comparing with the databases and the knowledge that is already described in the literature by the doctors. No? But apart from that, what we also did was we are running clinical trials with doctors where we are also correlating with brain activity. So we are sure that when we see an angry pattern from an acoustic perspective, it's not only about acoustics, it's a neurophysiological combination of many signals. So it's brain activity, heart ratio, oxygenation, facial expression, body movement. So this is how we are sure that the data is okay.
Excellent question. Do we have one more? The last question of the competition in this sector. I just noticed the squeaky floorboards here. Yes, your question,
Does this
sir.
require clinical trials? Because you haven't talked about clinical trials. Now you say you are doing, well, with more biomarkers, but...
Yeah, so actually on the communicative part, needs and emotion, angry, sleepy, etc., we don't require clinical trials. It was research by our own to be sure that what we are doing is science, no? It's not about acoustics. But however, on the health part, yes, we are conducting huge clinical trials with many hospitals around the world because you need to collect the cry, wait that the baby grows, and then retrospectively train our artificial intelligence models because you need the diagnosis.
Fantastic. What brilliant questions from our judges, as always, and a wonderful presentation. My friends, show your appreciation for Ana Laguna from Soundstream. Thank you.